Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Chad Blackman is talking about healthy food choices. Chad Blackman is talking about healthy food choices. And he and whoever else he has enlisted to do it, they're going to be outside the schools and wherever else around the schools to make sure that whatever the kids are buying from the vendors, like sugary drinks and sugary snacks, or he's going to stop them. Is he going to tell them you cannot no longer be outside the school selling this particular thing, when you all know that flour and sugar would be the cheapest thing that you can put together to sell to someone and make a profit? Anything other than the sugar, what are you going to do? Replace the sugar with honey? That's cost. And what are you going to do with the flour? You're going to have like, what, that they're nutty flours like almond. I use almond flour, for instance. You know how expensive a little pack of almond flour is. So you're going to replace white flour for almond flour. How much is going to be the price increase? Are you suggesting that parents should, instead of giving their kids 10, 20, I don't know how they can afford to even give their kids money like that. Like what I hear, kids having like $20, $25, $30 a day. But are you suggesting that parents now need to come up with $100 a day? That's $500 a week to give their kids to buy snacks and to entertain themselves when they're at school? Is that what you're suggesting? Or are you suggesting, I'm talking to, is he suggesting, are you, Chad, suggesting that young girls, young boys, parents, and it's usually like one parent in the home, mother, are you suggesting that they do whatever they need to do to come up with money to buy snacks that are going to be more expensive? And how is he the leader of the pack? I remember like going to a doctor's office, when I was in the workforce, and you have insurance, that kind of stuff. You go to the doctor's office and you see a doctor that looks like Chad. The doctor looks like Chad. And I sit there and I'm saying to myself, so I'm supposed to undress, have this guy examine me or whatever, maybe give me give me advice? That's the way my mind works. That's the way my mind works. If I were to go to a nutritionist, for instance, let's say I needed to watch my weight, and I went to someone who calls himself a dietitian. Let's call a person a dietitian. Let's say I were to do that. Do you think the dietitian could look like Chad Blackman? A dietitian that looks like Chad Blackman giving me advice? Me? Your girl? No, it can happen. It cannot, not in this world, not in the next. It cannot happen. Okay, if I ever were to be part of a team, sometimes I go with a pack. When you're training for a marathon or half a marathon, you just try to, you just say, okay, they tell you that there are people who are doing this and doing that and blah. If you want to join the team, I'm a solo person. I do not like to train with anyone, okay? But sometimes I have. Do you think that the person who is leading that pack could look like Chad? Do you think someone talking about exercising and stretching and getting, acing whatever you plan to do, pushing you to do your best, you think someone that looks like Chad Blackman could tell me, your girl, about exercising? So I don't know what is wrong with the world. But you gotta get better. Things need to get better. You need to be the example you expect people to follow. If you are expecting people to follow your example, you need to be the example. You do need to be the example. You cannot be out there with all sorts of things wrong with you and trying to lecture to someone about all what? You're going to say, well, do as I say and not as I do? That looks ignorant. It looks ignorant, okay? So Chad Blackman is going to be outside the schools looking at the snacks and determining the quality. So fish cakes. Well, fish cakes are fried in oil, and you know that oil is not thrown out every time. That oil probably fry fish, pork, chicken, everything went into that oil. But I was thinking about the sugar cakes, and then they have the dye in them. That they could be pink, they could be blue, and different colored dyes or whatever to make them look really good. And then the pulley sugar cake and all. So he's going to be telling kids or the people who are selling those things that what they need to use honey in the sugar cake. How is that going to look? What kind of sugar cake is that going to be looking like? Oh God, help me, Lord. All I'm saying is that you need to lead by example. I said all of that to say you need to lead by example. Chad Blackman cannot be walking around with a midwife next to him, because there got to be a midwife, just in case, your water could break, whatever could happen. He cannot be walking around with no midwife next to him and telling people what they should or should not be doing, because no man should have a midwife. As a guy, you don't have a midwife next to you. It shouldn't happen. So you need to get it together. You need to be the example. If you're preaching something, you need to be the example, and you cannot be saying to people and to children, do as I say and not as I do. They are not the ancestors. Okay? They are not the ancestors. It has degraded to the point that they don't recognize themselves. They don't know where they came from. And they're going to repeat and repeat and repeat. History is going to repeat because they don't know where they came from. They are not their ancestors. It's degraded. It's something else. A new breed, as that guy said. A new breed. Okay? So you need to come better. Chad Blackman, send someone else. He's saying that he's going to be up there. Send someone else. Okay, send Kurt Humphrey. Send Kurt. Just send Kurt Humphrey or somebody else. But not you. Chad, not you. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.